Every day, we are shown apocalyptic and cataclysmic images, and the media is always full of terrible visions. Worse, climatic disasters, murders, social and political crises. If aliens learned what humanity is only by watching television, they would probably think we are a species on the brink of extinction. For the Western civilizations, the idea that everything ends is deeply rooted in their culture, and this could be a reason for the great interest that this kind of news and narrations arouse in us. From the book of Genesis, where the windows of heaven pour on the earth the water of the great flood, to St. John's apocalypse, there is always a linear view of time with a beginning and an end. This idea clashed and replaced the cyclic idea of time of Greek philosophers. Before introducing Borderlands, we need to talk about the apocalypse, even though we will use a less sacral view than the one found in the Bible. More specifically, we will discuss the post-apocalypse concept, double-stranded with the ideas of utopia and dystopia. The Borderlands saga consists of 5 video games and a movie still in production, and it is one of the many examples of post-apocalyptic narrations on the scene with specific cultural and political roots. Environmentalism, for example, is fundamental to understand this kind of tales, since it blames the political choices that are leading the world to an inevitable catastrophe. And politics is precisely what the post-apocalyptic genre deals with, envisioning the possible consequences of very specific behaviors and choices and defining precisely the deep connection between humanity and resources. Pandora, the world of Borderlands, is an example of post-apocalyptic dystopia. A hostile, desertic planet dominated by the brutality and the barbarization of relationships between human beings. The people have organized themselves in clans of bandits and renegades, deeply recalling George Miller's Mad Max saga and Tetsuo Hara's Fist of the North Star. Both these works belong to the same genre of Borderlands and share the same premises. Something ruined the world, and what remains are the consequences of the apocalypse. In Borderlands, there are corporations. Fierce, hyper-technological companies constantly competing and battling each other with private armies and exclusive weapons and technologies. They are the highest expression of the ferocious competition that plunders every world until it is consumed. That is the apocalypse of Borderlands' world, and what is left behind are barbarian tribes of marauders and their strange hazing rituals and violent social customs in a world ruled by violence and mental illness. What the video game medium puts on screen is precisely this: a context where the use of violence is justified by the nihilism and the need to survive, a dystopia where we have to face evil corporations whose power has literally galactic proportions. In particular, the charismatic leader of Hyperion Corp, Handsome Jack, not only makes us think about different social and political subjects, with a deep criticism of the ostentation of well-being, privilege, and the emptiness of a life devoted to gathering wealth, but invites us to think about a question that we may not expect by a game so crazy, desecrating, and over-the-top like Borderlands. With Handsome Jack, affected by the hero complex, we are introduced to some significant themes. How much is an evil deed necessary if it leads to a completely relative higher good?
Money rules, we all know it. How's it going? Handsome Jack here, your best friend. You know what sucks? Everything. All the time. There's wars, there's poors, and not enough fire in the galaxy to burn it all down.
But what do we know about the film adaptation? As far as we know, the movie has a heavyweight cast that includes the versatile Cate Blanchett and the Scream Queen Jamie Lee Curtis, and is set between the first and second chapters of the game. The director is Eli Roth, very skilled in pulp and horror movies, who seems to be a great candidate to transpose Borderlands on film. The violence of Borderlands, which is justified as a nihilist cuddle in a post-apocalyptic dystopian world, so gratuitous and excessive to become a parody of violence itself, might be an important feature of the movie, since Roth has already showed us, with his previous works, like Hostel and Green Inferno, his skills in representing violence at its highest level. The filming finished on June 22nd, so we still have some time to wait before the theatrical release. The rumors about a lighter version of the movie in favor of a more sensitive audience may worry the fans that have at heart some features of the franchise. However, we hope that the political themes and the irreverent soul and satire of the games will be preserved, to avoid a sterile display of violence that is an end in itself. Anyway, we only have to wait for a trailer and then to watch the movie on the big screen. And you? Do you know the franchise of Borderlands? Have you ever played one of the games? What do you expect from the movie? Let us know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching, and a special thanks to Stefano for his help. See you in the next video. Ciao a tutti.